Hello, everyone. Welcome to Football Uncensored. I'm Chris, the American Mag. Mighty Win should be joining in a minute. We're going to take a look at the matches in the weekend. Of course, Manchester United play later on tonight at 8 p.m. So we got to talk about that one. We got to do it before that match, of course. If not, it doesn't make sense. We got the match of the week. Of course, we got Chelsea and Man City, a match that we will have on this channel, live match commentary here. Chelsea versus Man City on Sunday. So stay tuned for that one. Of course, subscribe and and do come back. I was gonna say don't come back. Welcome everyone that came from NUFC Talk TV. Please subscribe to this channel. This channel is for the Premier League, for Premier League fans. We talk about all things Premier League. Don't do it about once a week. We got maybe the match of the week on the weekends. So that's that's there. It's a different channel than NUFC Talk TV. So, anyways, hit the like button, of course. Appreciate that support as usual. And yeah, before we continue with what's going on with the matches, which are great matches by the way coming up, we got to talk about some news going on in the Premier League right now. Welcome, Mighty Win, of course, another Geordie. Um, welcome, brother.
Right.
Anyways, let me see. We got to talk about some news going on in the Premiership, as you call it. Um, let me see. I'm trying to pull up something. By the way, Ten Hag came out and said something. They said the team is not ready, but we have to deal with it. What the hell is that about? Man, you've had a great preseason. You've gone to the United States. Is he already setting,
Yeah, setting the ball though.
setting the bar? Not only that, putting a mattress on the ground. That way, when he falls, he has something to fall. To cushion his fall. I mean, come on, man. You're the manager for one of the biggest teams in the history of football. Signings. You don't have problems about money. You sign whatever you want. I don't understand what this whole situation. Actually, let's take a listen real quick at what Eric Ten Hag had to say about this season so far.
The preseason, what is where you can in 5 6 weeks work on a team. It's very complicated, but yeah, we had the USA tour squad. Then we add the players who did the Euros and Copa America, and yeah, now new signings, and now we have to make a team from it. And yeah, the team is not ready, but yeah, the league starts, and there are more managers to deal with this problem. We definitely have this problem, but still we have some rules, some principles, and yeah, we have to make a start. We can't
Yeah.
hide ourselves. We can't run away from it. So yeah, we have to deal with it. It's true. There's
All
no
right. Eric Ten Hag then saying the team is not ready, but they have to deal with it. I really don't understand the mentality on coming out and saying this. Who's the fault then? You're the manager. Why is the team not ready? We're going to update people on Euro as well. Their new signing who got hurt in the preseason. But thank you so much to Blue Board Analysis. It's that time of the year. Thank you for the £2 donation, brother. Appreciate that, of course. And welcome to the channel as usual. Good Chelsea fan and a good content creator as well. So subscribe to his channel, Blue Board Analysis, for Chelsea content, and I'm sure Premier League content as well. We're gonna actually quickly do predictions as how far teams can go. We're gonna use a little website here, so it's gonna be great. Shout out to Harry Austin, Mighty Mag, Japadoni, Fergie Mind Games. He's saying Japadoni. Is that do you agree with that? Fergie mindset? I don't think Fergie would have ever said we're not ready.
I don't know. Oh, by the way, you weren't in earlier on this morning, were you? Harry Austin, we've got his forecast for Southampton.
Yeah. So what do you think, man? I'm asking you. Are you
6 hours
delayed?
to the start of the season. No, Fergie. To talk about Fergie mind games, you're talking about the master.
The
You know,
master. The master manipulator.
but Fergie was all bluster as well, though. He'd be saying, "Don't worry, even if the walls were caving in, he'd be saying, Man United are still the best team in the world, and we are gonna walk all
Yeah.
over you."
Yeah. A few Man U news. I know that the team plays at 2 p.m. my time, but 8 p.m. in the UK. The United paper saying that medical scans show a possible metatarsal issue when Lenny Euro joined Man U. Wow, they signed a player with metatarsal issues. And obviously, the first game that he played, he he literally he got hurt. There's not, it's unbelievable to
Yeah.
watch. Actually, they were here in the United States. Man United executives pressed ahead with the signing anyway, due to a firm belief that he will be a top player for United for the next decade. Well, you can tell that's going down the drain, hasn't it? Um, well, I mean, we don't know that. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair to say that he won't be, but certainly not a good start for for the lad. Shout out to Benjamin Maven as well in the chat. Um, Man, you're awful quiet, man. What's wrong with you? Are you not savvy on the Premier
Ronald,
League? You can't talk. You can't talk about the Premier League,
Ronald
man.
Turnbull, 6 hours to go.
Are
Yeah,
you delayed or
indeed.
what? What's happening here? Um, I
Can
think
you
you
hear
might be
me or
delayed.
what?
I can hear you, but damn, you're not you're not man, you're not as entertained as when you talk about Newcastle, man. What's wrong with you? Um,
Well,
on another piece of news as well, because we're going to hit the news real quick and then we're going to get into the predictions of each match, of course. Fabrizio Romano reported Tottenham Hotspur invest an important fee on French winger Wilson Odobert. And he was in the list for several clubs in the UK and Italy. A 25 million pound fixed fee, 5 million in add-ons, and also 10% sell-on clause for Burnley. 5-year deal, shirt number 29, and medical also completed in London. So that's a big surprise for some Tottenham fans that they've been complaining that they're not getting any signings. Well, we'll see if this guy can
uh,
actually perform. They just got Solanke as well. He was linked to Newcastle United. Um,
Solanke, brilliant signing. But do you think Dougie is an improvement on Kulishevsky? Because I don't.
no, I don't think so. But I mean, it's filling up the squad, man. Filling up the squad. Um, you know, I don't. Again, the same thing I was saying on the previous show. Don't know exactly if it's an improvement. We'll have to see. But Blue Board saying there Tottenham are in great shape. Well, some of their fans don't really like the fact that they haven't been making signings. They have all the money in the world, no PSR issues, and all they do is buy young lads. That's what some of their fans have been saying. So take that with a grain of salt.
Well, as I say, I think Solanke will make them much better than they were last season,
Yeah,
just by himself. And if that's there to give them more off the bench, because as I say, I think Kulishevsky is a more proven player than he is, but it's nice to have him coming off the bench.
right.
And
Um,
all the top teams, the object of the exercise should be to improve the first team immediately and to relegate existing first teamers to the bench.
yeah. Shout out
And
Nick
if you're
Fadley for
doing that, you're
something.
doing okay.
All right, just staying on Tottenham Hotspur news. Yves Bissouma was suspended by Tottenham after he was filmed himself inhaling lethal hippie crack days before the new preseason. I'm a little bit ignorant in this situation. I have no clue what hippie crack. Maybe
It's
you would be.
laughing gas.
So is is that
It's basically it's the same stuff that you
is that
used to
helium?
get.
Is
You
that
used to
helium
get a
like?
dentist. No, helium just affects your voice, just makes your voice squeaky because it distorts the sound waves.
And
But
so
laughing gas inhibits your normal.
so it does get you high and stuff.
It just makes you laugh. It literally makes you
Oh,
laugh.
really?
I don't know what the chemical reaction
Yeah.
is on your brain, but
Yeah,
you
no
inhale it,
bueno, no
and
bueno nonetheless.
you get a fit of the Rodriguez giggles.
But I have that naturally. By the way, when I hear something, but yeah, Eves Bissouma. I mean, just come on, man. If you're a footballer out there, man, stop being a numpty and just
Mm.
play football, brother. And don't. And you know what? Everybody's entitled to do with their body whatever the hell they want. Stop recording it, man. Stop recording it. What is the? I cannot believe I'm a young guy as well. I use my phone for everything. I'm always on my phone, but you will never. And that's why when I go to Newcastle, I'm a little bit, I'm like, man, I want to take a lot of pictures, but am I really in reality? Because when I go somewhere, I enjoy it. I don't really own the phone. Imagine me drinking a pint like this 24/7. That's unbelievable, man. I just don't understand it. But yeah, Evis Bissouma and of course the one and only Anja Postecoglou. had a few things, a few choice of words for the fella. Let's watch what he had to say.
Yeah, look, again, I've been in the game for a long time, and every time situations like this arise, and they do happen, I think I've always tried to sort of look at them in a couple of different ways. One is there's a person involved, and in this case, it's Biss, and he's made a really poor decision. And you want to understand that, and you want to try and help him through that. And as a club, what we can do to make sure he doesn't make those kind of choices and decisions in the future. Within that context, there's still sanctions that are involved, and some of those sanctions include education and giving him a clear understanding of why he did what he did was how wrong it was, and hopefully through that he comes out of it. You always want to give people an opportunity to kind of learn from their mistakes. The second part of that, he's also a footballer. He's a footballer of this club. He has responsibilities. He has responsibility of the club. He has responsibility to his teammates. He has responsibility to our supporters, everyone associated with the club, and he's failed in those duties. So there's got to be sanctions to that. So he won't be available for Monday. We've suspended him for Monday's game, but beyond that, there's also some trust building that needs to happen between Biss and me and Biss and the group. And that's what he needs to work hard at from now on to try and win that back. And that's got nothing to do with just one game. He may be suspended for one game, but he's going to have to earn that. And hopefully, like I said, the door is open for him, and hopefully we can help him to realise that the decisions he makes impacts more than just him. And as I said, hopefully he allows him to make better decisions moving forward.
There you go. The words of Ange Postecoglou, mate. So yeah, I do agree with that.
Wise words.
It can't be that sentence either. Just educate the guy, and it is what it is. Moving on to some news, of course. Chelsea on the verge. That's what the Sun is reporting of phenomenal 39 million pound Victor Osimhen swap transfer. 39 million pounds with 2 stars set to join Napoli. I guess Chelsea, that would be one hell of a deal. But they're trying to give away some players.
So presumably Lukaku is one of them.
Lukaku, yeah, give him Lukaku, and there's another guy. So yeah, it is. They got to outcast Romelu Lukaku and a young midfielder Cesare Cassidi, who is worth about 17 million. Romelu, I don't know what he's worth really, but at this moment in time, but I mean, you would assume he's still.
He's gonna be worth 60, isn't he? So
Yeah,
you're talking over 100 for the package.
So 100, and they don't want Lukaku. So I think that they could persuade. And if Osimhen wants to leave, then that's a pretty good situation right there. I wonder if, yeah, I mean, look, if Osimhen comes to the Premier League, he is a top signing and a half.
You see,
no, he is a top signing and a half. What? Well, you don't agree with it?
what I'm saying is you don't know how anybody's going to perform in the Prem until they get here. And me and you have had this out before. There's a whole different world to scoring loads of goals in any other league than there is to scoring them in the Prem.
I can agree with that, but that ain't gonna stop.
You don't have an easy game any week in the Prem.
Yeah.
Over the water, you might have 10 or 12 hard games a year, and the
good players play anywhere, man. Great players play anywhere.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right, and also Maresca saying that Osimhen and Joao Felix, who they're also trying to get back, I think. I'm not going to comment on the Letty and Napoli players. He said the club knows exactly what I think, and hopefully before the window shuts, we can bring in some more players. As Enzo Maresca, it'd be interesting to know Blue Board's analysis on Enzo and what you thought about Pochettino leaving the club. I thought it was a disgrace how Chelsea treated him. He got that team from mid-table to European football. I understand that mid-table is not common for Chelsea. Because they are a team that's fighting always for top spots. So, but regardless, you guys were mid-table that season, and the next season with young players, inexperienced players, he comes on and out of nowhere gets you into European football. I thought you can just give him time But obviously something was broken there, man. Something was broken there.
Especially towards the end of the season when he had
Yeah,
them
because he had
on
that.
fire. You know,
Yeah,
okay, you could argue that it had taken him the first 9 months of the season
they were young
to
kids though,
yeah. And once he had them gelled and glued together, they were on fire. And for to then go and
and screw it all
split
up.
that up. And
Yeah,
again, talking about getting rid of Conor Gallagher, he was, arguably he was a player of the season. Cole Palmer, it finally worked out how to use him to his best ability. They had everything firing, everything working, and then they go and
screw it
put
up.
an end to it. It was talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah,
And then for to replace him with a completely unproven Prem manager.
and this is Chelsea we're talking about. Now,
This is Chelsea, yeah.
I just don't get it. It makes absolutely no sense. But anyway,
the only thing that it does show is that on a global level, there appears to be right now a dearth of quality coaches. Because if there was anybody stellar that was available, surely Man United would have appointed him and got rid of Ten Hag. Surely with Klopp going, they would have brought in a better coach than Arnie. And Chelsea, surely they would have brought in a better coach than Maresco. So there's obviously very, very few coaches who are believed to be at that very elite level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And no, it is what it is. But I thought it was really odd. Anyways, moving on to some news, and again, we're gonna get to the preview of the weekend pretty soon. But we're just hitting some news real quick. Fabrizio Romano reporting that Arsenal remain in active talks to complete Newcastle United's former player Mikel Merino. More steps to follow, of course. Merino has agreed on personal terms with Arsenal. The clubs keep working on a deal structure, payment terms. Fee is going to be over 25 million euros. Atletico and Barca already informed of Marino's desire to join that club. So, because Barcelona was also interested, and look at that, Arsenal winning a battle over big Barcelona. That's big news. Not really, because a lot of Dani Olmo, a lot of people in the Premier League wanted Dani Olmo, and he chose Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona, as you would say. But anyways, let's listen to Arteta, hated by most, loved by many.
Transfer window question. Does Mikel like Mikel?
Sorry.
Mikel
Does
Merino.
Mikel
Yes.
like Mikel?
If I like myself, you mean?
Mikel Merino.
You know that I cannot talk about any other player.
But that area of the pitch, if you could find somebody that could come and help, because you've got a busy schedule, potentially 60 games or more, a lot of midfielders, but quality is always something you're looking for if you could find the right player in that area, particularly before the window closes.
After the season, we had two objectives. The main one and the most important one is make sure that we're still very, very much in love with our players and find ways to improve them, because that's the main thing. And then, okay, if there are certain opportunities in the market to improve the squad, certainly we have to look at that, and that's what we've been trying to do.
There you go. That was Mikel Arteta on Mikel Merino. Didn't want to say much, of course. He is. What do you feel about Mikel Arteta, man? You hate him too?
I don't
hate
him.
anybody, man.
I just don't think he's.
He's proba.
I don't think he's elite.
Well, I think he's more elite than Eddie.
Well, when we get to our league table predictions, you'll find out how elite I think he is.
Blue Board Analysis says, I agree. I believe it ultimately came down to differences in ideas, such as Pochettino wanting assurances about Gallagher, which the board didn't provide. And I think that's the ultimate reason of a club's football failure. When people in suit and ties get involved, doing things that people in tracksuits should be worrying about. You know, he rates Conor Gallagher. I rate him. I wish he'd come to Newcastle. And so I just simply don't understand that. And that is poor management right there. Moving on with other news. Romano also reporting that Ten Hag confirms that Mazraoui is an additional one who can fill in the back left back position as long as Luke Shaw and Tyro Malacia aren't in the team. Luke Shaw is injured, by the way, if people didn't know that. But he's old as hell too, man. You gotta move on from these players sometimes, man. Mighty Win wanted to keep Matt Ritchie and all them guys. Move on, and then when you make a sudden improvement, a small improvement, they think, "Wow, we've improved the squad." What? Unbelievable. It's quite difficult, he said, to put him under
Let's not
pressure,
bore the
especially in English
Premiership,
football.
the whole of the Premiership, with our
Yeah.
trivial club tiffs.
Especially in English football, that can be very beneficial, said Ten Hag. So that's that. As for that, also Man United, by the way, interested in Manuel Ugarte from PSG. Was a bust for some people at PSG, but it looks like they're still interested. And mind you, when they're interested in somebody, they go get them, no matter how poor they may be. But no, look, Manuel Ugarte is a top. Well, I don't know. He's talented. I don't know. I don't know in the Premier League how he's going to perform. But let me see real quick before we move on to other teams. If we got anything about Man U, no, we don't. All right, let's talk about quickly. Pep Guardiola says the midfielder Rodri is out of Sunday's game against Chelsea, match that we are going to have here on Football Uncensored, by the way. The match of the week, Chelsea versus Man City at Stamford Bridge. We're going to have it here on Football Uncensored. The live commentary, of course, 15 minutes before kickoff time. Pep Guardiola saying that Rodri is out of Sunday's game and is just returning to training since picking up an injury in the Euro. Yeah, that is true. By the way, he did pick up an injury. But let's listen to Peppa.
Obviously, Rodri came back midweek. He got injured in the Euros final. How is he? How are you going to have to look after him over the next few weeks?
Yeah, feels. I don't know because he didn't training. I didn't see him yet, so I think feels good. But they have to try to training. We'll see when he starts to move his body. How does he feel?
So looking ahead to Sunday, given he's not trained, so not even in the squad.
Nope. Any thoughts, Ben? Why are you laughing about?
Well, I'm laughing at Pep's expressions that you keep freezing on.
No. It's typical. It's us, man. We're Hispanics.
Listen,
we're expressive, brother.
Even the best team in the world is going to miss a player of Rodri's quality.
Yeah.
He's obviously he's not irreplaceable, but over a season he is. For to have someone of his quality over the season, of course you're going to miss him. Yeah. But I mean, Newcastle have found when it's no coincidence that when Bruno hasn't played, Newcastle don't win.
Yeah.
Simple as every single game Bruno's missed, we haven't won. And that's the difference that top quality players make.
Yeah, that is true. For anybody that cares, I mean, this is actually Premier League written because Ipswich is up in the Premier League again. But it looks like they have signed. They got a little bit of breaking news here. I think Sky Sports puts breaking news on anything. But they have signed Sami Szmodics from Blackburn.
Some great lines. Sami Szmodics is an Ipswich player. He has signed a 4-year deal from Blackburn for a fee worth around £10 million. Speaking to Town TV, this is what he said. I am delighted to be here as an Ipswich Town player. There's always been interest since I was a kid, but it just felt right this time with the challenge of the Premier League. That is Sami Szmodics as an Ipswich player. It's a 4-year deal from Blackburn.
There you go. Everybody gets happy when Ipswich signs a player, all the reporters. Yeah, come on, man. Stop that. Stop it. What were you going to say, Mighty Wayne? Yeah, old man.
I think I was just lagging there. Yeah. Always been an Ipswich fan. Yeah. We believe that. Of course we do.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why were always been an Ipswich fan, man? What
he's saying that? Yeah, no, you've got to say the right things for the fans.
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable.
You know,
and obviously we are Newcastle United fans, but we're covering.
He's got a tractor tattooed on his butt.
We're Newcastle fans. We are covering the Premier League, and we have to bring up a big signing. And it is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Crystal Palace are considering a fourth Newcastle offer for Mark Aguirre from Palace, of course. And let's take a listen to what Sky Sports had to report.
Bid has been made for Gay, and that Crystal Palace are considering it. Now, in terms of the most recent offer from Newcastle, we understand it's in the region of £65 million, inclusive of add-ons, that is. But the clubs are in talks over the structure of the offer and whether that fee is acceptable. So our understanding is that a fourth bid has been made for Mark Gay and that Crystal Palace are considering it. And that is in the region of around £65 million, which includes add-ons. A fourth bid.
There you go, add-ons. So Proba, we have to see, mighty win. We, for more Newcastle United news, obviously visit NUFC Talk TV. It's full-time coverage of the Mags over there. We're not going to dwell too much on it, but it would be a really good signing for Newcastle and a tough let go for Crystal Palace. I mean, he is their main center back.
Yeah, Crystal
hopes,
Palace. If they could have held on to all of their players, I mean, Gay's already gone. Sorry, Leslie's already gone. But if they could have hung on to that squad, I mean, their finish last season was comparable with Chelsea's. You know, they were winning games 4s and 5s against good teams. You know, if they could have kept that squad together and added a couple of players, they would be challenging up there for, certainly top 7.
Right. All right. Moving on to other. We right now is obviously preview day, right before Man U set to debut on the Premier League. So we got a lot of managers coming on and having their opinion on what's happening with their prospective team. So we are giving them and giving the fans, of course, what they're saying. And Enzo Maresca has also spoken.
Just one injury, that is Reece James. The rest, they are all fit, and they're gonna be all of them available.
Will Conor Gallagher be involved on Sunday?
No, Conor is back. He is training in this moment a little bit apart. He's doing some medical test and some training, and he won't be involved for this game. Also because you know better than me, is in this moment he's trying to find a solution with club. So we see what's happened. Yeah, just
there you go. That was Enzo Maresca on the Conor Gallagher situation that we just brought up not too long ago. Kind of weird, man. I just don't understand how a player like that is not wanted. But hey, to each their own. To each their own. You want to sell him to Newcastle though? Newcastle, come on. How much Chelsea want for him? Anybody knows? I mean, they're probably going to get top.
40 million. I think he was going to.
35. Sign him. Proba signing, man. You literally don't have. He's way better than any sub we got. So that's that. On other reports, Gary O'Neill from Wolves has talked and confirms that Mateus Cunha will be fit for tomorrow's match against the Goons.
Mateus Cunha is potentially in the squad for the game. That's a big boost, right?
Yeah, Mateus Cunha, he's fine. So raring to go. Works really hard to get back as quick as he has again. And he's feeling very, very good. He's had a great week's work. He's trained every day on the grass. So, yeah, no concerns around him. So, big boost for us.
All right, that's cool. Good manager, this one, Gary O'Neill, isn't he?
I like Gary O'Neill. Yeah, I thought he was harshly treated at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But Wolves seem to be splitting opinion. If you go down, all the various podcasts and whatnot, in terms of what we are about to do, Wolves go anywhere from 8th to relegation. It's a bit weird for me, that.
Right. And also breaking, Ipswich is signing Calvin Phillips from Man City on a season-long loan. Another loan for Calvin Phillips. This guy is unfortunately how his career has gone, but linked with Newcastle.
I can see Calvin Phillips doing at Ipswich what Ross Barkley did at Luton, and reignite his career, because Calvin Phillips is a better player than people give him credit for. If Ipswich can get the Calvin Phillips that was playing for Leeds, that made Pep say, pay 50 million for him, they've got a proper bargain there.
Proba. Oh, we'll have to see what he does. He was also
Because
linked to
Calvin
Newcastle.
Phillips at his best, for example, is better than Conor Gallagher at his best. But it's a question of whether they can reignite that talent
Well, that is the
he
question.
undoubtedly had when he was at Leeds and playing for England.
Yeah. So that is as far as news is concerned, of course. So, and obviously we're going to get into the preview. We're going to take a look at each match, of course. Well, first we got to start with Man United and Fulham today at 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Central Time USA. So Ten Hag saying that they're not ready, but do they need to be at top level playing football to beat the powerful Fulham? I mean, Fulham last season was a team that made it difficult for some teams, but nevertheless to say, they finished 13th. So
yeah, the one thing Fulham lacked last season, which is common to most of the teams that finished kind of mid-table-ish, was just consistency. On a good day, they could be very, very good, but on a bad day, they were absolutely woeful. And so it's a question of can they maintain some level of consistency, which is the hardest thing in football to do.
But Man U, looking at Man U, what do you think? I mean, they're certainly.
I think Man U should basically have enough to take care of Fulham.
I do agree as well.
I don't think it'll be a very pretty game to watch, to be fair.
Probably not. What is your prediction for this match?
You know,
everybody in the chat as well, give your predictions.
Man U will have enough.
Yeah, I know. What do you think? What about the score? 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 10-0?
No. I don't think it'll be anything like that. I think probably 2-0 I would go.
Yeah, a Man United playing against Fulham.
Maybe a goal each half.
Yeah.
Fulham will be playing their usual low block, and it's a question of whether Bernardo can get in. Bruno, sorry, can get behind if Garnacho has a blinder. So let's see what the young kid does. Is he going to recreate his stellar form from last season?
Yeah, that'll be a question, but of course,
but I think they should have more than enough.
Yeah, to beat Fulham. All right, that's a good one right there. Everybody in the chat saying 2-1, 2-0. They got Man U scoring twice at least tonight, so that this should be a good opener. Maybe a boring game, like you said, but for them, it should
100%. Mags is going 2-0 to Fulham.
2-0 Fulham. There you go. Well, you can tell. Maybe the biased, maybe a little bit of bias from Hunter Mags. But anyways, let's move on to tomorrow's match earlier in the morning for the US folks, but the earliest much anyway, either way. Ipswich versus Liverpool. That's going to be a poor. Tough match for Ipswich, man. Tough start, to say the least.
Yeah,
man, you're going to have to come back, man. You're lagging, bro. You're lagging bad.
The thing about Ipswich is that a lot of teams who come up to the Prem, they start off like a house on fire. They've got that fire in their belly and they're all up for it. The crowd are right behind them, and they go for it. So that could be an upset, but I just think Liverpool will have too much for them, sadly. I think the best Ipswich could hope for would be a draw. But for to think the excitement and everything about the new season and back in the Prem for the first time in donkey's years, can they do it? I mean, bear in mind, this is a team that's come straight up from Division 1 straight to the Championship, straight to the Premiership. They are big, big leaps. Now, okay, they've signed a couple of players, as we've just seen. Phillips will be up for it, obviously, if he plays. I don't know if he's trained enough or been in the squad enough for to play.
Yeah.
But if he plays, if Smodic plays, they've got a very good manager. Let's see. I've been talking, I always talk about team spirit in the side, and that's one thing that Ipswich have got in abundance.
Yeah,
So
but that
let's
spirit will only get you so
let's see how
far,
they get
man.
on. I would love to see them get a result.
100 Mag says, I'd say
Yeah, it
1-1
will.
draw for Simply.
You've got to
Well,
have
welcome,
quality on
gents.
top of the spirit.
But yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Ipswich. But look, things can only get better, right? I would assume. I don't know what their second week match is, but we'll have to see. It's certainly one of the teams looking that probably might bounce back, not bounce, but fall back down again. We'll have to see. And the
Yeah.
next one, you got Arsenal Wolves, man.
I think that
Dude, why don't you jump off and come back
you know,
on, man?
again,
'Cause
Arsenal.
you got a horrible delay, man. We're gonna get the old man back. No worries. Jen says, "Hi, chaps from Sweden. To be specific, what's up? Welcome, Jens, man. Appreciate that. Helsazar, I just want to see Goldrich melt if Man U lose. Happy days. Yeah, well, that would be one hell of a. That might happen. 100 Max is proven by teams like ourselves, Villa, Brighton, West Ham, etc., challenging the top a lot is recent season. I think we are going to be battling against those guys. But give me your predictions on Ipswich and Liverpool as well. Ronald as well. Give me your predictions on those teams. Oh man, you there? You still got a delay, man. What the hell?
How's that?
You still got a delay. I don't know, for some reason you got a
Still
delay.
got a
But anyways, it's fine. I mean, that's fine. Let's move on. Arsenal Wolves, man.
Arsenal, yeah, they'll have enough for Wolves, I think. Again, I don't think it'll be a pretty game. Probably, I kind of see Wolves scoring, to be honest. That's going to be that problem. 2-0 Arsenal.
Right. All right. So that's I do agree. Arsenal should beat them, but I don't know if that's going to be the case, to be honest. Everton Brighton. Now, this is Everton's chance to actually start on the right foot. I do think that they finished low because of the point deduction or whatever. That didn't help them, but they also shouldn't have finished as low as they did. But I mean, they deducted what, 10 points? That's quite a bit, man.
Yeah, they did well to survive.
So against Brighton also has a lot to prove because their last season wasn't good. Finishing, I mean, well, maybe it was according to their standards, but however, there was a team that everybody expected to do well under De Zerbi, and so I think both have something to prove there. Don't you think?
Well, they've got. We're sharp going to see how much Newcastle are going to miss Minty,
right?
Because no doubt he'll be starting for them tomorrow. They've made a few good signings, have Brighton, and this will be a really good test as to whether those signings have improved the team or not. Because Everton haven't done a lot, and no, I think Brighton may just have. I think they'll certainly have enough to get a draw.
I think both are going for a draw,
possibly enough to get the win there.
But they're going to be playing at Everton, man. That's a They should have that in their advantage.
So Everton is always a tough place. Listen, there's no easy places to go in the Prem. And
cliche phrases.
Brighton are going to find that out. Yeah, cliches, but they're true.
Nah,
the fact that it's a cliche doesn't make it untrue.
But
I think Brighton are going along the right lines, and I think they've got a half a chance.
All right. Again, if
So
you're
I'll
a Newcastle,
go.
yeah, sorry, go on.
If I'm going to go with a score for that, I'm going to go. I'm even going to risk 2-1 Brighton.
Wow,
Because I think Everton are
2-1
going to
Brighton.
struggle this season.
Okay, interesting. Moving on to Newcastle Southampton. Of course, if you want full coverage of what we thought of Newcastle Southampton, go to NUFC Talk TV and subscribe to the channel. And actually, look, we did a whole 2 hours on Newcastle Southampton and also covering news as well. So, but quickly and briefly, this should be an easier match for Newcastle. But you never know. It's going to be at St. James's Park, of course.
Comfortable win.
What do you think, Oman?
Comfortable win, 3-1.
Comfortable win, 3-1. There you go.
I'm only giving them one because you never know what might happen.
Yeah, but I mean, most people give the opposition the score most times. That means the defense is not 100% trustworthy. But a lot of people saying 4-0 now,
Well,
5-0.
no, it's because there's other things. Just somebody can score a worldie from 35 yards that there's no control over. There can be an accidental handball or something in the penalty area, so they get a penalty. So, there's always a chance that through no fault of your own, you concede a goal.
Right.
And something like that happens most games. You'll see in every game, just about you'll see a worldie, or you'll see a really stupid defensive error that costs a goal, or something along those lines, which is completely unpredictable. You kind of, but it just happens. It's the football gods coming into play, as they so often do.
There you go. All right.
But comfortable win for Newcastle.
All right, moving on to Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth.
Sorry,
that
Southampton
should be,
fans.
Yeah, that should be an interesting match.
No, this
level
is
match.
a game and a bit.
Hey, that's at the City Ground, so that's going to be.
As a neutral, yeah. As a neutral, this is one of the games that I would like to see, because you don't know what you're going to get. We've got Bournemouth. How are Bournemouth going to do without Solanke now? That's a big miss as far as I'm concerned. We've taken Lloyd Kelly from them. How's their defence going to cope? I think Bournemouth could be in a bad place. But Nottingham Forest are a proper, they're still a mishmash of players that have never really gelled. They struggled like hell last season to keep out of the bottom three. So I think it's going to be a game which is riddled with mistakes. And it's whichever team can find that little spark of quality which could make the difference. But I think it'll be a good game to watch, because I think it'll be back and forwards, back and forwards, back and forwards, with lots and lots of chances. I think it could be a high-scoring game.
I tell you what, though, for Bournemouth doing great business.
Because City... Yeah. You're saying that they've done great business, but they've lost their two best players.
Well, let me tell you something. They were 12, so
you're hoping that what you bring in has replaced them.
Yeah. All right,
which is difficult to do.
What's your scoreline on that?
Because if there was a better player, for example, than Solanke, Newcastle would have been after him. So would a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Solanke, you're right.
No, but I'm going to take Forest to win 3-2.
Forest 3-2. All right, that's good. That's going to be a good competitive match. And then the next one is West Ham versus Aston Villa. The derby of what type of color do they use? That blue one. They got the same colors, man. That's the
claret and blue.
The claret and blue derby. Is that an actual thing, or did I just make it up? I'm sure people have mentioned it before.
No, it's not.
No, I know that. No, I know it's not an actual thing, but I'm sure people have mentioned it before. They do look. They look similar in their uniform, and it's not in. It's not
Listen,
just a plain red shirt. It's literally they. I don't know if they did it on purpose or
by
not,
the
but
way, they're not uniforms; they're strips.
that's you play in uniform, man. The strip, whatever. They're kits. I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but they do look similar. So
Am I still lagging?
yeah, man, you're lagging. You're like 2-3 seconds.
Am I still lagging?
Yeah, you're like 3 seconds behind, man.
I'm wondering if this is. Let's. I tell you what I want to do.
Close every window. maybe you got. Oh, I tell you what you got, man. Maybe you got the virtual background on, or the
I think it's where you set it up yesterday.
Get out of here, man. You weren't lagging earlier. No, but look, check on the settings in your camera and see if you don't have the green screen on or something like that on StreamYard, not OBS, StreamYard. But anyways, go and do your thing then. So West Ham against Aston Villa. That's going to be tomorrow as well at 9. No, what time is that going to be? That's probably like 5:30. Yeah, 5:30 p.m. UK. That's 11:30 in the morning USA. So, going to be an interesting match, of course. Charles says, I'm excited and nervous for what happens with the Mark Gihey transfer. I do agree too. I'm very excited. Hopefully, and very hopeful. And I'm sure, and it would be a top signing in the Premier League as well. And of course, a big leg down for a big loss for Crystal Palace, who finished 10th, literally mid-table last season, and it's poor, but that's just the way a cookie crumbles, man. They've lost looks like Anderson might be sought out by other clubs as well. So that would be their two main center backs leaving. That's going to be tough. But on the other hand, Newcastle getting somebody like Margui would be great stuff, to be honest. I mean, for the Mags, and so it would be definitely an improvement. And now, especially that Botman and Lascelles are not available to play, that's a big improvement for them and the defensive. But I do think they need a right winger as well. And so, that's the thing. But now you've kind of spent all your time negotiating for a center back. You got literally, look, it's still a lot of time left. You got 15 days. That's why I think Newcastle wants to get this deal done now. Because you still got 15 days to get a right winger out of the blue. Look, you already got Osula to try to do something there for the center back position. Is that a clear improvement in my opinion? No, it isn't. But we have to see. Maybe he does become a really good player, a really good backup, and then he becomes an improvement. We don't know yet. However, you already got Osula there. I think the next 15 days, if you get Margui now, the done deal now, you got 15 days until the end of the transfer window to get a right winger. And you focus on that 100% of the time. Now, if you don't have money, then it is what it is. Then somebody needs to come out and say we're done for the window. But if you do got money and you spend, if Newcastle is trying to spend on a right winger, then you got 15 days. That's still a lot of days. You got 15 days to get a right winger, and so for that, so it's still time. It's still time to say the least. Hunter Max says there is a report I talked about on my channel saying that if this deal doesn't happen, we have to back up. We have a backup plan in Alessandro Bastoni of Inter Milan. Well, Bastoni is proper, man. I like him. I like him a lot. So Troll saying Anderson is going nowhere from what I read that Palace has said. Well, that Palace has said. Who said it? Because their chairman also said that Gay is all this talk, but at the end of the day, it looks like they're negotiating for him. So it's a tough situation to be in, of course. But most teams already got the squads that they're going to need, that they're going to want. For their season, maybe add-ons, a few player, etc. I think Man U have gotten plenty of signings already. I don't think they are still looking at Manuel Ugarte from PSG, still looking at a few options. Title contenders, Man City, Arsenal still looking, as we said earlier, for Mika Marino. Man City, I feel like they are very quiet, and at this point in time, nothing as of yet coming out saying that they want another player. We will have to see. You know, about them, but Man City do have already a very, very good squad, a very elite squad, and so therefore, adding somebody, they need to replace some. They need somebody for Oscar Bob, of course, because he just got injured, and they are looking for somebody. Um, but that would probably be it for Man City, and they look pretty good. Liverpool, on the other hand, haven't made a lot of signings. To be fair, a few here and there, but not a lot of signings. How much have Liverpool improved from last season? Last season they were 82 points. They were literally 6 points. Sorry, yeah, 6 points away from the second place Arsenal, and so that's 7 points away. So, sorry, and so that's the thing. They were third place, but how much have they really improved? There's always been talks that they needed a defensive midfielder. Haven't done much there as far as signings. They thought about signing Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon, but they already, from Liverpool fans, have said that they already have too many left backs, left wingers. So not really some don't understand why going for Gordon. I mean, if you sell Luis Diaz, who was linked to Barcelona, that would be an option. If you sell Gapco, who is a very talented guy, I don't know why they would sell him, but they're looking at that. Um, Also, an interesting topic would be Aston Villa. How is Aston Villa going to um, perform this season? Are they going to have the same effect of Newcastle United had on the Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, the league? How are they going to perform? And of course, Newcastle had injuries as well. So we'll have to see what Aston Villa, how they can perform when it comes to playing all those tournaments out there at a high level. And can they finish fourth again? Can they fight? I think it's going to be fourth, fifth, sixth when it comes to maybe seventh for European spots. It's going to be divided between Aston Villa, Tottenham, maybe Chelsea. I got Chelsea 10th because I think they're gonna pay the price of letting Pochettino go. I think they're gonna pay the football price for it. So I think they're gonna be mid-table again. I don't think they're gonna be in the mix. West Ham has done great business, so you got to put them fighting for Europe there as well. Man United, you got to put them for fighting for Europe. Newcastle fighting for Europe, and Tottenham and Aston Villa. So that's literally 5 teams right there. Some might include Chelsea, so that would be 6 teams. But I don't. I think they're going to pay that price of letting Pochettino go dearly this season. So all those teams right there fighting for fourth, fifth, sixth spot, maybe seventh. That's going to be the battle of Europe, and I do believe still Liverpool might struggle though. So if Liverpool struggles, and somebody needs to fill in that third space, I think that Liverpool, if they struggle, they would be fighting for Europe, not struggle to where they go mid-table. I think so. Then you gotta who is going to swap? Who is going to be top? Who's going to be third? I think Ronald Turnbull said that Newcastle might be third. So who out of those Aston Villa, Tottenham, Chelsea, not Chelsea, sorry, Newcastle, Man United are going to be fighting for that third spot if Liverpool falls down. You can say Newcastle doesn't have Europe, only Premier League and cups, so they do have an advantage there. Tottenham qualify for Europa. They're going to have to focus on that as well. So out of all those teams, who is going to be the one fighting? Aston Villa is going to be really. Let me tell you something. Aston Villa, do you know what they're saying to themselves?
We are knackered.
There you go. That's what Aston Villa said to themselves. And Ronald says, AV be lucky to be top four. Exactly. Aston Villa, man.
We are knackered.
I'm telling you. I know for a fact what they're going to go through, man. Because we did it as Newcastle fans. Charles says some Man U fans think they're winning the league. Well, look, I mean, look, it's Man U. They could do it, but I have doubts. Man, man, you back?
Is that better?
Yeah, man. That you're proba. You're proba now.
That's because I'm back on my way.
No. You better go switch back. It has nothing to do with that. You just had to restart it. It's just literally this old man is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Anyways, let's move back. Let's go back to. Okay, so we did Forest. We did West Ham, Aston Villa. That's where we were left off. So the derby of the claret blue, whatever.
The claret and blue derby, and I think both. I'm lagging again.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Well, I think they are both. I think the season's going to affect Villa the same way it affected us with the Champions League. But they are going to both Claret and Blues are going to be right up there with us, challenging the Toxic Six. I think it's going to be a draw. And I think they would probably both be happy with a draw.
Happy days.
And again, I think it's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah.
High scoring. 2-2. I'll go 2-2.
Okay, 2-2. There you go. The next match in hand, Brentford Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace will. By the way, because this could be a signing of one of the signings of the season between Premier League players. If Margate plays, I don't think that necessarily means that he's not coming to Newcastle. He just got a job to do. I mean, it's if he was to say, I'm not playing, what if the deal doesn't go through? Then he's got to deal with fans. So that has nothing to do with that. But regardless, Brentford, Crystal Palace, very similar teams as far as not really. Crystal Palace finished 10th, Brentford 16th, fighting for relegation. So should be easy for the London team, shouldn't it? Well, they're both
London teams.
They're both in London, yeah. Well, the Crystal Palace, I meant.
No. By the way, I think Brentford are going to have a hard season. I don't know what they're going to do with Tony. Is Tony playing or is he not playing? Because you're on about Gay possibly coming to Newcastle, but also, Newcastle are in the market for a right winger, and by all accounts, Mbeumo is on the list of targets. So that could possibly be a player from both teams that we're interested in. Let's see. But I think Palace, if they've still got Gay, they've still got Wharton, they've still got Eze, I think Palace will have too much for Brentford. So I'm going to take Palace to win away.
All right. Yeah, I think Crystal Palace should get that one.
I think Thomas Frank's done a great job at Brentford, but you can only work with what you've got available, and they keep on stripping them of resources.
Still got Mbeumo though, and poor Mbeumo, man, might want to.
At the minute, yeah. Well, Mbeumo's a great player.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Leicester Tottenham. Leicester's first game back is in the Premier League, champions of the Premier League as well. So you got to talk to them different now. They are royalty. They're part of the few.
They're absolute royalty. They've won the league. They've won the Premier League.
They're part of the
very select company.
So Tottenham, the ones that
the pretenders to the throne, like us, haven't won a trophy for donkey's years.
Yeah, that's right. And
to deceive Harry Kane's. We've been in 7 finals now. Never won a one, bit like Newcastle. But I think Tottenham will have far too much for Leicester. I fear for Leicester, especially because, of course, they're still waiting to see whether. I think that it's a disgrace, absolute disgrace, that this potential points deduction for Leicester hasn't been already decided, so that at least they know going into the season where they stand. I think the fact that it's still hanging around is an absolute disgrace, and the Premier League should be ashamed of themselves. But having said all of that, I think Tottenham will have way too much for Leicester, and I'm taking Tottenham to win comfortably.
Yep.
3-0.
All right. Moving on to the match of the week, ladies and gentlemen, which we will have live here on Football Uncensored, live match commentary, 15 minutes before kickoff. Chelsea at Stamford Bridge against Man City. That's going to be an interesting match. Although Man City might have the lead. They're still
We've already said that Rodri's not going to be available.
Yeah, true.
Big miss. Despite the fabulous squad that City have got, there's only really Chelsea who can compare with City in terms of sheer numbers of what you might call quality players available.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Man City might have their work cut out, because I think Chelsea are going to have a very, very good season, despite what everybody's saying. And I am going to take Chelsea to win.
Oh, wow.
Be close, I think, but I'm going to take Chelsea to win 2-1. I think Palmer is going to be fired up against his old club. He's going to continue his form from last season. And he's going to put Phil Foden in the sheet.
There you go. Look, we will be covering that match, the match of the week, on Sunday. So stay tuned for that one. Football Uncensored, of course, live. Back doing we're gonna try to do every match of the week, but never know. So stay tuned for that, of course. That's we're gonna be at 10:30 a.m. here. Would be what time is it gonna be over there?
Chelsea City, 4 o'clock.
4:30. 4:30.
4:30. Normally it's 4 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. So stay tuned for that. Of course, Monday is when Leicester versus Tottenham are going to be playing. So there you go, Monday. But that's going to be the last match. But we shall do something back here on trying to review the weekend. But before we go, quickly and swiftly, who is going to be the top scorer for the Premier League, man? It's Erling Haaland going to be unchallenged. I think Isak might.
Well, I think Isak will be up there, but with the bullets that Holland gets supplied with, it's still going to. He's going to have to. There's absolutely no evidence to suggest that Haaland isn't going to keep doing what he does. So the bookies don't often get it wrong. He's odds on. As long as you can stay fit. They'll supply the ammunition and he will fire the bullets. Bang, bang, bang. Lock and load.
That's the thing. What do you think would be a good comeback player of the year?
Comeback player?
Yeah, man. It could be Gabriel Jesus, who's been not been performing.
No, I don't
could
think
be could be
Sancho,
could be Amad Diallo, Casemiro.
I tell you who it could be. It could be a Calvin Phillips.
That could be that one, yeah.
Could be a Calvin Phillips for a comeback of the year, because he's been proper in the doldrums. Even when he went on loan to West Ham, dropped some proper bollocks. Yeah, but I think there's a good chance that he will do a Ross Barkley. And on the subject of Ross Barkley, it's going to be interesting to see what he does at Villa, because I think he was a brilliant pickup for them. So yeah. I'll go with Calvin Phillips.
What about best signing of the season? You got Fulkrug, you got Ricardo Calafiore to Arsenal, you got potentially not done deal yet, but if it happens, Margui to Newcastle. You got Brereton Diaz. Come on, man. Why do we put him in here? Michael Olise went to Bayern Munich. That's tough. Pedro Neto potentially. It could
again.
be
Can you keep him fit?
Yeah.
If you can keep him fit, fantastic.
Not really a clear-cut top signing, is there?
Top signing. Who did I think? God, I wish we'd got him. I'm going to say Dominic Solanke.
To Spurs. Wow.
To Spurs. I think he could make a big difference to Spurs. I think if Arsenal had signed him, I would have had a completely different outlook on where I think Arsenal, how well Arsenal are going to do, because I still think they lack a proper out-and-out centre forward. I think put a centre forward in that team that could be magnificent. I'm amazed they haven't gone for Tony, who all the talk was about. There's got to be something funny going on in the background there for Tony still to be available.
Mm-hmm.
And again, really interesting to see whether he starts for Brentford.
Who would be, Mag says Ivan Toney or Sandro Tonali. Well, Sandro Tonali would technically not be. a signing, of course. But oh, he's saying Osula. Come on, man. Anyways, but who would be the Premier League surprise team? Who's going to surprise folks?
Well, by all accounts, I think because I think I'm the only one who's saying it. I think Chelsea are going to surprise folks.
No, I think they're
Because
going to
most
surprise
people
for
have
the
got
worst.
Chelsea finishing, maybe it's top 6, 7.
I think they're going to be
Chelsea are
mid-table.
going to be right up there.
No, I think they're going to be mid. I think to me they're going to be 10th.
Well,
11th.
there you go.
I think they're going to surprise for the worst. Not really surprised because to me they're going to pay for what
I
they
could
done.
put it this way: in terms of surprise teams, I can't see Ipswich, Leicester, or Southampton doing anything. And sadly, I think those 3 are straight back down again, as was the case last season. And I think this is going to become more and more the norm. It's going to be extremely difficult for a team coming into the Prem to make that step up and stay there.
Yeah.
I think, because now the money, the Premiership money that's been generated now for season on season, every single established Premiership club now has got money. They don't need to sell their best players. They can buy better players with the money they're getting, the revenue they're generating. And so for a team to come back up and do something is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And it shows the quality that we've got in the Prem.
It could be West Ham.
What everybody says.
West Ham have signed good players, man. It could be West Ham, like people are saying right there, antagonizing Jordan. I made you a mod again here, man. I noticed you weren't a mod here. So welcome back, AG. It could be surprised. I think Julian Lopetegui might just get West Ham get it right, but also Wolves, Gary O'Neill, man, he might get busy. But we'll have to see. We'll certainly have to see. All right.
Like I say, I mean, there's lots of punters got Wolves in the relegation zone, and I can't see that at all.
Yeah. What Premier League manager will be sacked first? I think Enzo Maresca. Well, because you got them finishing really low, and that's a sackable offense if that happens, because that means it's over.
I think by Christmas they'll be so far off the lead that it'll be bye.
All right, and okay, well that's
whereas I think despite Maresca's inexperience, I think that the players in the squad are there. He's got a really good guide from the back end of last season what his best team is, albeit without Gallagher. But I think Chelsea are going to surprise a few people, and I think Arsenal are going to surprise a few people the wrong way.
What do you think about who will be relegated? What's the 3 teams that will be relegated? Potentially, you got, of course, Ipswich, you got Leicester, the ones that came up, obviously, right? I mean, and you got
basically
Southampton.
What I'm saying, yeah. It's so difficult now to make that step up, especially for Ipswich, they're not just making one step up; they've already just made another step up. That would be if Ipswich can stay in the Premier League, McKenna should be manager of the year. Simple as. For any team to come up and stay in the Prem is an achievement in itself. And because of Sir Bobby, I would love them to do it. But sadly, I can't see it happening.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Southampton also in the mix. But Leicester, I really want Leicester to stay up, man. But
you can't see where the goals. Okay, Ipswich have just signed Sammy Schmodic from Blackburn, but you can't see where the goals are coming from. And to win games, you've got to score goals. That's me worry.
All right, so you got the same that came up going down.
Yep.
Okay, so simple Premier League title winners. There's only one winner, by the way, not winners.
Yeah. Only one. Man City.
Man City will do it, I think, back to back again, and
Farmers League, number 6.
And that is history at its finest as well.
Yeah, well, it's already history, isn't it?
It's already history, and it will be. Talking about Farmers League, look at yourself in the mirror before you don't spit up at the sky, because it will fall on top of your head, and that's what it's become. But we'll see. I think Arsenal will still fight it, but if you are right that Arsenal fall to,
but it's going to be a lot tighter this season than it was last season.
If Arsenal falls down to 5th and below, that's sackable, because you're not improving, and it's 5 years, 6 years already of the same guy. What are you? Are you trying to improve?
In the project, well, they're in phase 4 now.
Yeah.
Phase 4 was last. Phase, give over, get a grip, shake your head.
All right. Anyways,
it's absolutely criminal that Arsenal haven't signed a centre forward. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be absolutely livid.
I'll be outraged. Anyways, it's been a great show. Of course, we've been over an hour doing the match this week 1 prediction. We're going to do it again next week. Of course, the match reviews, the weekend reviews should be coming up soon. Probably going to do it on Monday at 9 p.m. and then jump on UFC Talk TV. Maybe try to do it that way. But regardless, I appreciate your support. Hit that like button if you just showed up. Hit that like button, folks. Help us out. It's been great. Thank you, Mighty Win, of course, for being here as usual here on Football Uncensored. Don't forget that Sunday we got the match of the week, Chelsea versus Man City here, live match. And of course, if you're a Newcastle fan, go and follow NUFC Talk TV. As for me and the Mighty Win, we will catch you later at 10 p.m. on NUFC Talk TV. We'll see you later, folks. Ciao, ciao.
Bye now.